G'day guys, welcome back to another Fair Income episode. New week, new episode, you guys know the drill. But in this week's episode, we had World's Strongest Man. I like to keep it at that, but he always reminds me to add the competitor part of it. Might be Australia's World's Strongest Man. Regardless though, he's a beast. 10 out of 10 episode where we cover competition style, what it is like to be a professional, the family aspect, mentality, so many gems packed into this episode. I know you guys will definitely enjoy it. Thanks to Fadi for hopping on this episode. And make sure to show him some love on his socials down below. But with no further ado, let's get straight into the episode.
People don't understand. Like, I'll go see my auntie. Like,
Yeah.
You're too big. I'm like, oh, I'm not big enough. What
Yeah.
Nah, what's wrong? You're gonna hurt your back and this and that. I go, no, khalas, man.
For sure.
We know what we're doing. We're
Yeah.
trying. We're looking after ourselves. They don't understand that how our size helps our sport, especially for strongman.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're doing a truck pull, the bit heavier you are, more leverage you have, the more you can start it quickly. You can just lean forward and just go for gold. Then someone who's lighter.
Correctly.
And yeah, so it's just the community that don't understand. Like, if I go see my uncle right now,
Yeah.
he'll look at me like, lose some weight.
Yeah. They see that size and they see unhealthy. But if
Unhealthy,
anything,
yeah.
you're probably more healthy than most people in the actual community.
I'll bet if I show them my bloods, then we'll go for a run or even a sprint. Because
Yeah.
I'll say run, but
Yeah.
sprint. We'll go for a quarter sprint. I'm good for like 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Fair Income.
Let's get into the episode. Well, there is honestly no formal introduction to the episode. We like to just start,
Good.
like get into it, whatever, go
Yeah.
straight into it. But before, how should we start it? Should we go straight into the World's Strongest Man journey? Now, actually, you know how we'll start it? First of all, Fadi, welcome back to, first of you guys, welcome back to another Fair Income episode. In this episode, we've got the one and only World's Strongest Man competitor, Fadi, you know? Before we get into the episode, I want to start with pre-Fadi as the World's Strongest Man. You as
pre-Fadi.
young and all that kind of stuff. I wanted to know, obviously, because your sort of identity is morphed around your training,
Yeah.
and being a professional. One thing that like really like strikes me, and like I think about it all the time, is like, how did you get into this sport? You know, because a lot of us, we train just for the, I
Yeah.
guess the validation from everyone else. We train to, I guess, feel better, get bigger, and all that kind of stuff. But why take it professional?
That's actually a good story. Because I'm 32 now, yeah?
I love batting.
I didn't enter the gym till I was 27, 28. Up until then, even with my brother, like he will attest to this, like we used to see gym goers like in a bunch of meatheads, what a waste of time. Like we went to different fitness, like we did taekwondo here and there,
Yeah.
like more combat sports, but never professionally. But somehow, long story short, for me, I
Nah,
got married.
make the story long.
Like, make the story short. Yeah, and I got married at 23.
Okay.
And by the time I got to 27, I got pregnant with my wife,
Okay,
basically.
yeah.
So I got too big.
Yeah.
I'm like, you know what, let's try this gym thing.
Yeah.
And then I got to 160, looking like a pear and whatever, alhamdulillah.
Yeah.
Got some random online program from some guy from Spain that I used to watch, some influencer.
Yeah.
Lost 40 kilos in a year doing this weight program, yeah? I'm like, wow, okay, I'm getting fitter now. I was like, I went to 160 to 120, just like what stack fitness these days.
Yeah.
I'm like, what do I do now? Like, I was like, I dropped my weight. I'm like, let's look at strength.
Yeah.
There was a guy that I met named Troy Gillard. He's one of the coaches at Northside.
Yep.
And I saw him running around at Atomic Gym. I'm like, this guy's running around doing all sorts of stuff. I'm like, he told me about a gym that's opening up. It's a powerlifting strength gym. I'm like, khalas, I'll try it. Went there, signed up, met another guy there. His name is Michael Berry. And he was the owner of the gym.
Yeah. Of Northside.
Of Northside, yeah. So there's like, this was maybe 2017, 2018. So 1 year after I've already done my fitness journey, I've lost a bit of weight now. So I'm like, what's the next step? Did powerlifting for a year. Fell in love with it. Strength, squatting, maxing, squat, bench, deadlift. Up until then, I didn't have any exposure to any of this. So like lifting for weights for the sake of being strong was like a cool thing.
Yeah, it was.
And in turn, it kind of gave me a better body than I had before. So I'm like, okay, it's going hand in hand.
Yeah.
Obviously not like the bodybuilders, but it's still something I could be proud of.
Yeah. Wait, before 27, 28, were you even going to the gym?
I was doing 1 year with Snap Fitness, just normal random fitness training.
Just here and there, pretty
You know,
much.
those overall body functional workouts.
Yeah.
We just go. There was nothing structured.
Yeah, there wasn't a method to it. It was just
Nah.
you rock up, work out, bang
Go
out.
work out, got out, just to break a sweat.
Gotcha.
And I started making stuff up on my own as well.
Yeah.
And I got bored. That's when I got into powerlifting. Now I'm like, okay. I don't think I ever competed powerlifting professionally. I think I did like local comps here and there. And my best max was like squat bench dead was I think around 650 total. But after that, my coach Michael Berry, he's like, your body is suited for strongman. Why don't you do strongman? I'm like, well, I've never heard of strongman before. I mean, I've seen it before, like, you know, you watch it on the TV, how they used to pull trucks and that, but I didn't realize that was strongman because I was a kid. So I looked it up, I'm like, oh, you're talking about the guys that pull trucks and lift stones and logs? He's like, yeah. I'm like, all right. I watched it for the weekend. 2 days later, I signed up to my first comp in 4 weeks for another gym in Iron Revolution. He's like, what are you doing? I'm like, oh, well, I'll chuck myself in, let's try it. All right? I'm like, all right, 4 weeks, quick rough prep. I don't even remember when I came at that comp, but I enjoyed it.
So you just did it for the lols pretty much.
I just did
enjoy it.
And subhanAllah, that was, well, I'm trying to get my years wrong, but maybe 2018, maybe 2019 actually.
Yeah.
Because it was just before COVID.
Yeah.
Did all the local comps, whatever I could find. Every comp, there was like a comp every couple of months, just to get used to it. And fell in love.
Yeah.
And if you look at my Instagram, you see maybe the old photos back then. There was like a skinnier version of me, tall, skinny version. Just picking up farmers, stacking it, running around, looking like a giraffe. And now, like, subhanAllah, how things have changed. Did that for the first year. And then the next year, got into national. Did Australia's Strongest Man.
Wow.
Came third there. This was in maybe 2022.
And what's that, like a year's worth of training?
Technically, because it was COVID, it was like for about a year or two.
Yeah.
Like we were in lockdown. So I was still training in lockdown, but it was basically just to maintain strength. I couldn't compete, so I couldn't. When you compete, you have a barrier to go up to, what to beat, you know, what to improve on. So it's just, I've got to keep what I can keep. Until we're able to compete. So maybe 2 years, maintaining, getting a bit better. Did the Australia's Strongest Man 2022, came third, and then a year after that went to Worlds 2023 this year.
Wow.
Alhamdulillah.
So there's levels.
Where did the competitive nature like start from? Like obviously you said that you just chucked yourself in. Obviously you probably had like no expectation
yeah,
of yourself.
At the start, yeah.
And then where did like that develop? Where it's like I want to compete. I think I can actually do something.
I think when I did the Australia's Strongest Man, that was when I first had my first injury as well in the last event. So I was leading up. I was in the lead in the points because it was 8 events over 2 days, so 4 events a day. And I'm like, oh, I'm feeling myself like I actually want to win. I want to dominate, yeah. And then I injured myself on the 7th event doing a medley. I just strained my ACL. Was it ACL, MCL, something around here? I heard a pop. It's like a bubble wrap. I'm like, what the hell was that? Dropped
what lift were you doing?
Picking up. So you had to pick up a anvil. And run. And so it was, this was an anvil or a box. It was like a steel box. Run back, pick up another implement, run back. And the third implement was a log, like a 140 kilo log. So I picked it up, put it on my shoulder, and then I stacked it a bit. Took a wrong step, and I heard crack. And I dropped it. I'm like, what was that? And after a while, the next minute, it starts inflaming, starts getting stiff. I'm like, oh no, there's one more event to go, which is stones. I did the best I can, but it cost me points because I couldn't lift the stones that I was supposed to lift.
Exactly, because of the injury.
And because of that, I came third, alhamdulillah. I'm like, oh wow, damn, if I just, you know, nothing. You know, so that made me like, injured. When you're injured, you still want to do it. That means you really want to do it. It didn't deter me. I still tried. So I'm like, okay, maybe I have a thing for this. I took about 2-3 months to recover. 1 year to get back to full capacity. And after when I got invited to all these comps, like just doing a Australia's Strongest Man, I started getting recognition. Like, well, maybe there is something for me in this sport. Maybe I can go far in it. So slowly, as time go on, the more you keep training, the more you keep seeing you do PBs. The more you keep improving. The more you get better at the sport, you don't know, it just becomes natural to you. It's like you want to make this a job now.
Sure.
Then obviously I've watched all the other athletes like, you know, Hafthor, Big Z, Brian Shaw, Eddie Hall, Tom Stoltman, all these big names in the sport. Now I'm like, these guys are making a living out of this. It's their career. Like, why can't I do that?
Before you got into it at the age of 27, 28, did you know these big names before that? Or you just seen them on TV and just like...
When my coach told me about strongman, that's when I started watching them religiously. And I followed their journey. It was like my first year of local comps.
For sure.
So I've already been visualizing and watching them from since then.
And is there like inspiration for like Australians here at home? For guys that are in it like that?
It's not... for Australian strongman, you mean?
Yeah, Australian strongman.
It's not as big as I'd like it to be. So it's still a niche sport.
It is.
And big names, I don't know, subhanAllah, like... There was Coco from, because he's done World's Strongest Man. He owns a gym in Queensland. There was the Warrior Rongo Keane. He's from Perth. He's done World's Strongest Man. Eddie Joe Williams is from South Adelaide. So there's a bit of people here who had made a name for this. Has already been to Worlds. You know, none of us been to the finals yet. So it's like, in Australian sport, still young.
You're very young.
We're all hungry to get to. That's why when I got to Worlds, like the first Arab Australian to go to Worlds now. Now I got something to prove.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's getting bigger slowly.
And it's not like other sports, like for example, like soccer, basketball, footy doesn't really count, but all those other sports, netball, whatever, where when you're a young kid, you
Yeah.
can see someone else that's done it, look up to them and be like, okay, done. This is the path they've taken to get to that stage, and be like, okay, bet, you know. Whereas in this sport, even though it is a professional sport, it's like it's homegrown almost. You have to just do it all yourself, you know.
You have to do it yourself. Yeah. Not everyone has the access to the equipment.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like one thing I noticed when I went to America is strongman's huge there.
Yeah.
People there knew my name more than the people here knew my name.
Wow.
I'm like based here. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, how do you? We watch you. I'm like, what do you? What, like from America? You know? Yeah, we follow. They love their sport. Even strongman, every sport.
Yeah.
But here, it's like you gotta put yourself out there. You gotta make sure, you know. Even now, the comps are becoming bigger. It used to be car park comps. Even Australia's Strongest Man used to be just in front of Federation Square.
Yeah.
Now it's that meat stock festival. You know, a big festival now where people can come and watch and, you know, have a barbecue and see what's going on.
Yeah, there's an environment behind it as well. So that's standard sort of when you're like getting into this sport, yeah. And obviously with like the north side and stuff, where did you get most of like your training from then? You know, if there isn't that sort of standard here in Australia,
Yeah, it's
you
funny.
have to look overseas and be like, okay, that's how they do it to get to that professional world champion status.
We had the base levels. It's basically just getting stronger.
Yeah.
So getting stronger, you do squat, bench, deadlift, overheads. So we had to get the fundamentals down. That's why a lot of people who do strongman come from different backgrounds. They come from powerlifting backgrounds, weightlifting backgrounds. Some of them are even rugby players.
Yeah.
So it's you got to have the functionality strength. So I came from no background, subhanAllah. So it's like straight bang. 1 year weight loss, next year powerlifting, third year strongman.
Yeah.
So I'm still new in terms of training age.
Yeah.
So I had to look at what other guys did. They do sprints to get better at this. They did. We don't have farmers, so we'll do something else that will pick up 2 barbells and put weights on it and pretend that's farmers. You know. So you had to improvise. Because when I went to Northside was initially meant to be a powerlifting gym.
Gotcha.
But I was one of their first strongman. So we agreed, you know, let's start putting implements in, you know, buy stones from here, get a sandbag from there. Some things we got made, like we got welders to make for us, like a coffin. Then I pick up a coffin, which is like one of the implements that we use. So I was like, you know what, let's just make it a strongman gym.
Yeah.
And it just started blowing up after that.
Yeah.
So that's just basically half strongman, half powerlifting.
Wow. And just for the people that don't know, what's the difference between powerlifting and strongman?
So powerlifting is...
'Cause I feel like sometimes they use it interchangeably.
do. Well, straightforward. Powerlifting is just focusing on max strength. How heavy can you squat, bench, and deadlift? That's all that matters. It's just 3 lifts, competition-wise. And they do everything and all the accessories just to maximize on those 3 lifts, squat, bench, and deadlift.
Yeah.
Where strongman is, yes, how strong you can deadlift. There's not so much bench, but squat as well. But also how much can you squat for reps? How much can you deadlift in reps in a minute? How much can you pick up and run with it and come back?
Yeah.
How much can you press overhead? Like, can you press a log? Can you press a barbell? Can you press a block? There's so much things, but you have to watch World Strongest Man. There's like so much different variety. There's like a whole niche of strength sport.
Yeah.
Not just squat, bench, deadlift. So it's not to say the strongest always win.
Yeah.
Sometimes the fittest. Sometimes the most adaptable.
Yeah.
Sometimes the most technical.
There's cardio involved in it as
Oh,
well.
100%.
Yeah.
That's something I've got to work on.
Yeah, I've seen it as well when guys are like lifting logs and running as fast as they can.
Yeah.
You know, and like you said before about the knee, I'm always thinking, damn, just one wrong turn, it's just a pop right there. You know?
Yeah.
And then after you got like a truck behind you pulling and all that kind of stuff, it's like,
So the truck. You think the truck it's hard to start, but once you get momentum, it's like the lactic acid, the build up.
Yeah.
How much can you sustain to keep going? Because your just legs want to give out.
yeah.
Ever push a sled? You know when you push sleds?
Yeah.
You push a heavy sled.
Yeah, you feel all
or drag
the
a heavy
quads.
sled. Yeah. You can do it. It's just how long can you do it for?
That's true.
So that's a fitness cardio thing aspect of it.
Yeah.
So what's the like so-called peak age? Actually, firstly, when's the normal age for people to start strongman, and also the peak age? How does that
It's a
work?
good question. It's very varied because we have people in the 40s that are dominating and people in the late 20s. I reckon late 20s, like over 25, you'll start to get adaptable at it, like good.
Yeah.
That's when you
30s.
start competing, like
Yeah.
the higher levels.
Well, the youngest one to win World Strongest Man is Novikov from Ukraine.
Yeah.
I think he won it at 23, 24.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Wow.
But he was like an outlier. He was really good.
Yeah, gotcha.
Otherwise, everyone else have always won it in their 30s or late 20s,
Yeah.
even late 30s. Like Big Z, he's been competing. They call him the GOAT of strongman.
Yeah.
He's the Junior Saviscus. He's been competing for 25 plus years. Two rooms like this full of trophies.
Wow.
Of Arnold Classic, World Strongest Man,
Yeah.
every other comp that he's done. And he's now, I wonder if he's over 50 now. He's either between 45 or 50, he's still going.
And he's still going.
He's still going. He's not at the peak competitive level because obviously training age got to him, but he's still going.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're in this game for a while now.
Oh,
No,
if
you
you ask
will-
me
you
how
will
long
be.
I've got, and I reckon inshallah 10 years. to be competitive. And then after that will be just to be participative and help out and be involved in the sport. I love this sport, alhamdulillah. Like strength sport in general, it's like a passion now.
And how often do you think about that longevity in terms of like your weight, your body composition, the food you eat?
Yeah.
How often do you think about this and also plan towards it?
Well,
Like the
all the
longevity.
time. Because you can't always be heavy.
Yeah.
So like even now for this comp, because it goes by comp, yeah? Like this comp that's coming up in December, it's called the Official Strongman Games.
Gotcha.
It's like how do I explain this? It's like a qualifier for Worlds. So I got to Worlds based on invite. You can only go to World Strongman based on invite.
Yeah.
So that's all my social media. That's all these guys from Lebanon. We can help out. And, put it's like more publicity for the Arab audience. We'll give him a shot. He's got enough lifts. I went there. Technically came 25 out of 30 athletes because 30 athletes around the world.
Yeah.
But you always have your own group. So I came last in my group out of 5, but overall came 25 because you have to get top 2 in your group to go to the finals.
Correct.
But got that experience. Alhamdulillah, learned from it. Trained, basically competed with the guys that I used to watch on YouTube and saw them and took pictures with them. And the first day I was starstruck. Second time I'm like, oh no, I'm versing these guys. They're my competitors. What's going on here? Yeah. So now I've got this new mentality coming into this comp. So now I want to go and prove myself at Official Strongman Games. And what was the question? What was the leading?
So
How much I
longevity.
think about? Yeah. So the comp is I have to lose weight now because it's very fitness oriented.
Okay.
It's a lot of medleys, a lot of running, a lot of sandbags.
Yeah.
Like I can't be heavy.
True.
Yeah.
So the goal, like you said, that will help me lose 10 kilos, inshallah. So I weigh 185 at the moment. I want to get down to 175. And then maintain that. Then shuffle between. Like you go by how your body feels.
So usually you're going up and down for like 10 kilos basically.
This will be the first time I'll go down 10 kilos in a while, actually. I've been comfortably 180 for the last 2 years.
Wow.
Inshallah, man.
Yeah, but now I'm curious to see what it feels like to be 170 and then health-wise as well.
Yeah.
Like we do, like I check my bloods and I check my health markers every 3 to 4 months. I take like your cholesterol, your hormones, everything. To make sure, even the blood count. Sometimes the blood pressure can get to your head, and you need to make sure you got healthy blood levels as well.
100%.
So, alhamdulillah, as long as you're maintaining that, your diet is on point. We don't eat. You can't really eat junk food because then you just don't perform.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Have you ever eaten junk food and it feels nice, but you don't feel most optimal?
It's like KFC when you get that first sniff and then you get that like.
It smells amazing. You eat
craving
that,
and all
but you
that
just want to
kind
go
of
sleep after that.
But I don't know anyone that's eating KFC and then after that felt good afterwards. You know what I mean?
Samoans.
Yeah.
Let's get don't eat a whole bucket and then come out and just do dead just like no tomorrow. I'm like, come on, cuz, man, I want to get sleep.
How did they do that? Yeah.
Yeah.
In regards to the longevity thing, yeah. Is there sort of like a peak, like, in terms of certain like athletes in different sports?
Yeah.
Yeah, they might reach their peak around that, like that 23, 24, 25, where they reach their prime or whatnot. But like, I guess from the biology of your human or whatever, they say that often a man gets his peak at the age of like 40 or in his late 30s and whatnot. Does that sort of translate into the sport?
Yeah, probably. That's the thing. It's how healthy you can keep yourself.
Yeah.
I reckon, like, for me, I've been only training technically for 4 years. I still feel like I'm scratching the surface. So what I mean, by the time I get 40, I'll reach my peak.
Yeah.
What if I started at 20 though, and then I trained for 10 years, I'll reach my peak at 30.
Yeah.
So I think it's the training age. Obviously, there is a point where your biology starts deteriorating as well. Like, your joints start getting a bit more creaky and stuff like that. But, you can take supplements to help with that. You can take, glucosamine to help build the cartilage. It's how well you look after your body at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And strongman taught me that. If I want to perform well, I need to look after my body.
Yeah.
See, powerlifting, you see a lot of guys that are just big and they just go overboard and just fuel up just to get that one lift.
Yeah.
They don't care how they feel or how they look.
Yeah.
It's slowly transitioned now to be a bit more health conscious, but not as much as strongman. I mean, strongman, you still have to run.
Yeah.
You still got to be fit.
Exactly.
I still got to pick up my kids. I don't want to just be big for nothing and I can't pick them up at home because I get tired too easily.
Yep.
So strongman, in a sense, helped me get peak performance and keep peak performance. You know what I mean? And plus, if I want to stay long in the sport, I reckon biologically, it depends. I reckon everyone has maybe 10 to 15 years of strongman in them, depending what age they start. I mean, Mark Felix, there's a guy named Mark Felix, if you look him up, they call him the miracle man. He started strongman, he's 20, he started strongman in the late 30s. Late 30s, he's over 50 and still going. He's got one of the biggest hands and biggest grips in the strength world.
Wow. And what nationality is he? What's his national?
From the African islands.
Makes sense now.
Yeah, no, it's a perfect specimen, mashallah. Not Cayman Islands. What is he represented that country before because now he represents Britain.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's one of the African islands or African countries or the Jamaican islands around that area.
Yeah.
You have to look him up. But yeah, he's still competing till now.
And
He's doing it off of strongman's over 50s.
And he started in his late 30s.
Like, started late 30s. And he's been a world strongman competitor for 20 years. He's been going to world strongman, keep competing.
Wow. That's ridiculous.
Some people just do it for the love of doing it. Like, you might not win, but they just love being part of the sport.
Yeah, it's almost like a lifestyle as well. Do you get sort of negativity associated with that later on, where people will be like, okay, cool, yeah, why are you getting so big?
Yeah.
You get that a lot. I think you would as well.
Well, especially from the community, to be honest. Not so much from people online or people who are in the sport.
Yeah.
Because I understand what you're doing.
Exactly.
But the people who don't understand, like, I'll go see my auntie.
Yeah.
You're too big. I'm like, I'm not big enough. What are you
Yeah.
what's wrong? You're going to hurt your back and this and that. I go, no, khalas, man.
For sure.
We know what we're doing. We're trying. You know, we're looking after ourselves. They don't understand that how our size helps our sport, especially for strongman.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're doing a truck pull, the bit heavier you are, more leverage you have, the more you can start it quickly. You can just lean forward and just go for gold than someone who's lighter.
Correctly.
And yeah, so it's just the community that I understand. Like, if I go see my uncle right now, he'll look at me like, lose some weight.
Yeah. They see that size and they see unhealthy. But if anything, you're probably more healthy than most people in the actual community.
I'll bet if I show them my bloods, then we'll go for a run or even a sprint. Because I'll say run, but sprint. We'll go for a quarter sprint. I'm good for like 30 seconds. Stretch it out.
Exactly.
I'll beat like most average people.
Yeah. Allah Mubarak.
And how does it work in terms of because I'm trying to think in terms of body fat percentage, like for competitors, apparently it actually helps with your lifts, like having more.
Certain
more
healthy levels.
Okay.
Like at the moment, from the last DEXA scan that I have 28% body fat, which kind of shocked me. I thought I had more, to be honest. And like there's someone else that done it who doesn't train, has 40% body fat.
Yeah.
But he looks skinnier.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, okay. So maybe the muscle mass difference and, you know, the fats in different areas, so it just, you know, distributes better. But obviously you can't be lean like a bodybuilder. I mean, you can try to. There's people who have tried to be lean as bodybuilder, but you need cushioning in your joints.
True.
So it's a certain level. I reckon maybe 16 to 25%, for my uneducated guess.
Yeah. But are there many on the lower side of it, like in the big competitions? Or
Yeah, there's guys. Well, there's the weight classes, So there's 105s, there's under 90s and under 80s. So they're a bit more leaner. They can afford to get body percent down and have a more better physique. But in terms of open weights, heavyweights, 105s and over, you can be 180 kilos, you can be 200 kilos, you can be 110 kilos. You're still a heavyweight.
Yeah.
It just depends how your body is. But from experience, what I've noticed, the ones who have a healthy body fat percentage tend to perform better, tend to get less injuries.
Okay.
Because you're putting your body under stress. Like, you know, you need to cushion your joints when you're pressing. You need to, even when you're picking up stones, you know, if you're too lean, you might pull your bicep.
True.
Or you hold it the wrong way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm not saying you have to be too fat, but too skinny as well, or not even skinny, it's too low body fat percentage because it's just too lean.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You need that right, like I guess cushioning that's in the middle where it becomes.
Which comes with experience, and everyone's individual. So you know yourself how you are. Like me, I'm slowly, I'm leaning out, but gradually, not you know, I'm not cutting.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
And technically, in a sense, like not that you're new to the game, but still you're very new, especially in a very, very like niche market. So you're like learning.
I still consider myself new to the game. I'm still learning,
Because it was only COVID was just yesterday.
Yeah.
And you just started the day before COVID.
Yeah.
So it's like the knowledge is just like compounding on you like every single day going forward, you know?
Well, that's the thing, because we mentioned COVID, like the fact that I just started and then COVID hit and I still kept training.
Yeah.
So subconsciously, I must have still was interested in doing it because I still wanted to compete, even though I haven't really competed yet, like properly. So I just reminded me of that. I'm like, damn, I really was interested in this sport. Like, I was passionate about it.
Yeah, when the whole world stopped, you kept at that one
going.
thing.
Yeah, just well, training in general, like it's such a they call it iron therapy. Any form of training, you know, it kept us sane for most of us.
It is.
Yeah, it does.
Man. It is. I think it's the physical exertion. That's what it is. Like that. Like for example, even when days get long for me, you know, there's nothing. Like there was a period I was speaking about it on a podcast once, where it's like when I was doing like my masters, I was so busy getting my masters done or whatever, and I would squeeze in a gym session here and there. So I was like technically like a casual gym goer, you know. And then what ended up happening is I finished my masters. Now I've got all this time in the world, you know what I mean, before like I get my results and whatnot. So then I spent that time consciously like going to the gym, where it would be like a constant like routine, you know. And it might sound like cliche or whatever. It's like, okay, the gym was like my therapy, because you see like, you know, Fuzi?
FusiTube?
Yeah. You see guys like FusiTube agitate, like preach about this and all that kind of stuff. But it's like there's something about the gym where like only recently did I injure my shoulder again, and I couldn't go to the gym for like a week. And I'm like, there's something itching that's just off, you know? And it's just like built into us low-key, I think. That's what it is, you know?
It's like instinct, like you need to achieve. You need to do something.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I remember there was a saying. I hope I don't get this wrong, but they said the keys of happiness.
Yeah.
And I know there's an Islamic perspective behind that as well. But this guy made a book called The Keys of Happiness. Basically says you need something to do, someone to love, and something to look forward to. If you have these three things, they're the key to happiness. Like you can have two and not the third one, you're lacking in something. You can have something to do and someone to love, but nothing to look forward to, you're kind of stuck in the present.
Yeah.
If you have something to look forward to and something to do and no one to love, then you have nothing to share with. He explains everything.
Yeah.
So for us, we need something to do. You know, no matter what it is. And for us, for men, guys, it's physical exertion.
Right.
Even working long hours. It's just, I worked long hours, I pushed stuff. Like, he complained about it, but hey, I worked overtime. But we still do it.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like we achieved something.
Exactly.
You know? So it always has to come to physical. We need to push ourselves.
Yeah, something that drives us, like a sort of a purpose in a way. You know,
100%.
something to keep us pushing, something to look forward to.
Yeah,
You know?
like little milestones that here, like, you know, whether it's a PB, whether it's eating right, whether it's getting enough sleep, your body feels better. We're built to achieve. We're built to improve. You know, when we're stagnant and doing nothing, you feel like you lose all motivation. That's why I don't know. The people get depressed because they've got nothing to do.
Yeah, exactly.
If you go do something, then see how you feel after that. Go for a goal. Have an ambition.
Yeah.
And something to strive for. And then tell me if you're going to stay depressed. Because you have something to look forward to.
I love that.
So then, Fadi getting into the world's strongest men, competing in strongmen and whatnot, did you have something driving you?
It was my kids.
Yeah.
Alhamdulillah, because I had kids early. So, do you know what? Marriage changed my perspective.
On life?
Yeah, on everything.
On everything,
On
okay.
everything. Because I can't remember my life much before marriage.
Yeah. Well, you got married technically
23.
in the Western world, pretty young, you know what I mean?
No, the record. I've been looking for 5 years.
Yeah,
Since I was 18, I've been looking till I got married.
If you're in Lebanon, that would be considered late.
I know, huh? SubhanAllah. I'm trying to remember. You know, I went to Latrobe, yeah?
Okay, no, I didn't know that.
So I'll let you know. So I went to Latrobe. And before Latrobe, I had so much different goals and ambitions. Like, I wanted to be an alim at one point. I went to Al-Azhar.
Yeah.
I got applied to Al-Azhar for university.
Okay.
Well, you know, those days we were trying to apply for Medina, Al-Azhar, this and that.
Yeah.
I ended up getting accepted to Al-Azhar.
Okay.
This is a whole different tangent now. But I went to Al-Azhar and I fell in love with Quran, tafsir and recitation and stuff like that. And that was my first passion. You know, I wanted to be an alim. Long story short, I know you like long stories, but long story short, it was just before the Arab Revolution.
Okay.
So I left, and the Arab Revolution hit Egypt. Okay. And the Mahad, the institute I was studying, got raided.
Okay.
So alhamdulillah, I see I came back to Australia because I got accepted to go to Latrobe. So I'm like, my dad wants me to do a degree.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'll come back. So I was there for about half a year. Came back now to Australia. I'm going to do my degree. What I'm going to do, I'm trying to find what I'm interested in. I like psychology.
Yeah.
I don't know if you could tell.
Yeah,
So I did the Bachelor of Arts major in psychology.
For sure.
Did that for about 2 years, and I had 1 year and another year to go. So it was like a 3-4 year course. Got married, dropped out because I had to look after my family.
Yeah.
I don't regret nothing. Because long story, like in hindsight, I'll be thinking I wouldn't have lasted in psychology.
Yeah.
As a teacher or as a counselor.
As in, like, career prospect wise?
No,
yeah.
I don't think I have the patience.
Yeah.
I love the study of it, and I love the working of the minds, and I love, you know what I like? I like life coaching.
Yeah.
I like people who motivate you.
Yeah.
Give you the action plan, go and do it, come back to me later.
True, yeah.
Not keep coming to me about the same thing over and over again. That's how I am.
I get you, yeah.
You know what I mean? I want to motivate you, I want to inspire you, and I want you to give you the tools, and you go do what you got to do.
And see results from there on.
Yes. And we'll pivot and move from there and there.
Correct.
But then, after that, that was my goal, to become a psychologist or become an alim. Now they're gone. Now I've got a family to raise. So that was, for a while, was my goal.
Yeah.
Worked in warehousing, worked in labouring, worked in different many jobs.
Yeah.
4 years into that, then I got into disability. Still, disability wasn't my passion, it was just a job.
Yeah.
And I'll do it because it felt good to do. The money was good, alhamdulillah, but still no passion, no ambition. But I had my kids, so I had to, they were my driving force. I need to look after my family, so it kept me going. Now it's different. Now I look after my family, yes, it's there.
Yeah.
But now I have a goal to chase. Now I have something lofty to do. So I could do something that can potentially make you financially free. If not, it can affect a lot of people in it.
True.
Like, pre-Fadi had goals and ambitions, but not like now. And I test that to marriage, because marriage made me change my focus. Marriage made me want to go and get fit and look after my kids and be healthy for them.
Yeah.
Even for my wife, you want to be healthy for her as well.
Exactly.
So it's like, yeah, that changed a lot of things.
Would you say, like, pre-Fadi was more short-term orientated with his goals? It's like,
100%.
Whereas now it's like long term. It's like whatever I do now has like a domino effect
Yes.
past me and past like my family. Yeah. So what would you say to like, for example, because I know I went through this like when I was, not that I'm old, yeah, but when I was like younger, where
You're
it's like
seasoned.
say again,
You're seasoned.
yeah, when I wasn't
Yeah.
as seasoned,
Yeah.
where like you're sort of trying to find out like what that sort of like niche is, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, you know how everyone's, I think that's just a part of life. Everyone's trying to find that thing, that purpose, or like they're trying to find that identity, something to like look forward to every
You never
single
know
day.
when it's going to come.
Yeah.
Well, you think, you think like 5 years ago, I thought, oh, my identity is going to be a strongman?
Nah.
Like I told you, I wanted to be either alim, wanted to be either a psychology teacher or a counselor, one thing or another. You know what? I thought I was just going to be a labourer for the rest of my life. So the people, that's the message, never stop searching. You never know where your life is going to land you. Wallah Azim, I did not know in my million years that I was going to become technically a professional strongman athlete. But like, he said that to me when I was 20. I'm like, what are you on about, bro? I'm, like, I'm not lifting stones and pulling trucks. I'm going to go read Quran or do something else. And no disrespect to read Quran. That's also a passion as well.
Yeah, I get you.
But if you're multifaceted, you have a lot more. It's like the more you do, the more energy you have.
Yeah.
You focus on one thing, that's all you have. What if you lose that thing? At least you have different options as well. You know what I mean? So you have training, you have deen, you have family, you have work. Like, subhanAllah, you're just always busy now. And you think you're running out of energy, you're just producing more energy.
Yeah, true. And life's short as well, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, it's only like,
It blinks like that. It's like you might as well try and see what you can get.
yeah, exactly. It was only yesterday that you were like 23 getting married.
Yeah.
And now like you're on the other side of the world competing on the world stage.
It
you
feels
know?
like a day. Wallah, it feels like a day. You know, it says, how long you been sleeping for? It's like the day or morning. It's like that.
Yeah.
You know, if you put my whole life in 10 years so far, up until now, 10 years of marriage and everything that's happened now, like, that was just an afternoon, mate. You know?
Yeah.
And then even before that, who knows how long that was, you know?
From the mentality aspect of things, yeah? And I want to like link this with like sort of like your training, yeah? What keeps you pushing? Obviously, there's that goal of becoming, well, what is the end goal?
For a strongman,
Yeah, strongman.
to become a world's strongest man.
World's strongest man,
Yeah.
yeah? So,
To win the competition, to get titles and that, yeah.
so between that and now, other than becoming the world's strongest man, what motivates you every single day to get to that sort of things? Because there's going to be days where it's not nice, you know what I mean? Where you're not going to be able to lift as much and you're not going to
No.
have that energy. You know, and plus you see it, you know, part of the dedication why I give like kudos to you guys and the guys at Northside Giant and whatnot, it's like there's a community environment there,
Yeah.
you know? So it's just you guys in there and like no one really sees the work that you guys put behind the scenes, you know what I mean? But then later on they say, okay, cool, he's lifted up this trophy and
Yeah,
like
they see the results at the end,
they
yeah.
see like the results at the end, but then they don't understand that it's like just a small little like warehouse around the corner in like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? I don't want to bait out your address, but
Yeah,
you know,
that's all right, yeah.
you know, so it's like the work that like goes into it. So obviously every day is not going to be rainbow and sunshine,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? So what gives you that push every single day?
It gives that push every single day.
Other than Vegeta as well.
Oh, Vegeta, huh?
Yeah.
It goes back to the goal because if I don't put in the work,
Yeah.
I'm going back. If I put in the work day by day, I'm slowly getting there. Now, I may not ever get there, but just the fact that I'm getting closer to it makes me happy. It's part of enjoying the journey. So the result, that's my result, yeah? Win World's Strongest Man, maybe multiple times, inshallah, be whatever, the first Arab Muslim to get to that point, you know? But if I never get there, at least I try to. And if I don't get there, but I set the way for someone else to get there, that's inspiring. You know, like, I don't know, the Arab community, they don't take strength sports that seriously. You know what I mean? Like, they'll take bodybuilding. You know, Arab countries, they love their bodybuilding, but that's not strength sports.
That's true.
Pushing yourself, you've seen me do deadlifts when you came to Northside, man. I saw some palm or instinct come out of you. You know, that was hectic. You know, and that's just that will get me going. I might not get to my goal at the end of the day. I might die tomorrow. You know, I might not even live that long. But what keeps me going is also my kids. They're watching me. I've got Tariq, he's 4 years old, and I've got Zaid, 9 years old. Yeah. Now it's funny. Zaid saw me in my gaming days because I started training, like I said, 3 years ago. So he's 9.
Yeah.
So he took the gaming side of me. So I know he's a little gamer.
Yeah.
But Tariq saw me when I started training.
Correct.
So he's 4, and I've been training for 4 years.
Yeah.
Now he comes up to me. He wants to lift weight. He tells me, Baba, I want a trophy. Give me a trophy. Man, the 4-year-old tell me he wants the trophy. He wants this and that. Like, nah, that's my motivation. I go, you know, Baba, I'm going to get you a trophy. I'm going to put it in your room. Tell him I want it. I want to see it in your room. Comes up to me. He's like, he starts flexing. This is how he flexes. Like, starts doing this. I'm like, subhanAllah. Like, just that. I'm like, I'm going to go train again.
Yeah.
You know, for me, it's like that. It's like, you know, people watching me, my kids, my brother competing with me. You know how nice it is to have my brother
Yeah.
doing the same thing that I have. I mean, do you have brothers?
Yeah.
Yeah.
These like have
Ashraf's-
similar passions.
Ashraf's my brother.
So how you do? Yeah, it is. Yeah, and you do train together.
Yeah, we do.
You
Yeah.
compete with each other.
Of course.
It's always competitive.
Yeah. It's tough
Imagine
at
doing it in
times,
strongman.
yeah. I know. Let's talk about talk about that a bit more. How did he get into it? Did he get into it because of you, or was it something else?
Jad's my
'Cause he's
little copycat.
Yeah.
Like, we both had the same idea about the gym.
Okay.
And then when I went in and I lost weight, he looked at me like, damn, you actually got good, you lost weight. So
Yeah.
he joined it after that
Yeah.
to get better and that. But he had the biggest transformation. And when you speak to him, you'll find out, he'll tell you about it. Because he started at a younger age, so puberty hit him.
Yeah.
And then just all that extra energy just came and all the hormones that just made him turn into a bigger beast than he is now, mashallah. And I did powerlifting and he did powerlifting for a year.
Yeah.
I got into strongman and he got into strongman the year after.
okay.
And then ever since now, we're just both strongman.
So you started the journey at the same time.
I reckon half a year later.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like he was watching me from a distance. Like, I wonder if this gym shit was, good or not.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, he got some results. Let's get into it.
Yeah. And then he got into it. So what's it like having a brother along the journey? Other than
Amazing.
It is, yeah.
It's amazing. It was very competitive at the start
Okay.
because like our numbers were very close. I squat, bench, and deadlift, and I always have bench over him.
Yeah.
Deadlift always back and forth.
Yeah.
Squat, he was always beating me in squat.
Yeah.
And now it's like gone to a level. Is like obviously he's doing his own comps now. He just did a qualifier, so now he can qualify for Australian Strongest Man again next year. So he's still making a seat at the national level. Well, I'm more focused on the international level now.
Yeah.
And it shows the goal for that is there's something called the Stoltman brothers. They're two Scottish brothers. They're called the world's strongest brothers.
Yeah.
So his brother, his younger brother, who's also on the spectrum as well, so he's got autism, has won World Strongest Man twice. And his older brother, Luke, he trains with him. He's won like Europe Strongest Man and a few other comps as well. We want to be like that.
Yeah.
Have our version of our World Strongest Brothers. So working towards that. So it's,
Yeah.
us competing together in major comps and stuff like that. It'll be fun.
It's a massive motivator, especially as your best friend, your brother, everything in it. You know what I mean? And plus, whenever you see Fadi, you see jihad, Loki.
I know, that's mad. Yeah. It's just cool, just training together, push each other. Sometimes I feel like, because when I train with other people, sometimes I don't push it as much. Because I think maybe because it's a North Side, I'm sure to tell them what to do.
Yeah.
But Jad doesn't give a shit.
Gotcha.
It's like, what are you supposed to do? I did 6 reps. You're supposed to do 8. Do 8 then. I'm like, I can't be bothered. He goes, bro, what are you you're a bitch? Go do it.
Yeah.
Like, I can't sell it, push it. No one really talks to me like that besides him.
100%.
You know.
Yeah.
He's just real, yeah.
Yeah. Like, I'll push it.
He knows what's cords to pull, basically.
Yeah.
Allah bad.
Yeah, so like I know that like gym and powerlifting that it can sometimes feel like a lonely place, especially if you don't have similar goals to maybe the people around you.
Yeah.
Like how is it in terms of having this circle at your gym as well, not just your brother? People supporting you, people buying things for your sake. If they're coming in. They've transformed the gym just for you, like basically, which is amazing.
It's like it makes you obligated now.
Yeah. So how's that been in terms of having that strong circle and people backing you, and having that respect?
You're only as strong as the team that supports you. The people who are backing you. You can do it as much as you can by yourself, but you need a team. And that's the team. Like, they're helping you, they motivate you, they give you tips, they give you advice, they critique you. Because they're always talking about strength, it's always on your mind. When you're by yourself, like, unless you're training for therapy because you're just training for the sake of it, to push yourself that extra level of competition, you need to be reminded why. There's people around you, people who are invested, people want to see you succeed. So lots of motivators in there when you have a team. When you're by yourself, you have to motivate yourself. You can only get yourself out. And like I said before, motivation lasts for a week, and now it just becomes discipline.
It does, yeah.
So that's another thing. Like, even at this point now, for me, it's just discipline. And I think I mentioned to you before when you came to the gym, like, it's a job, You don't question why you go to work. You don't say, because of money. Because sometimes it's not even just money anymore. You just have to go to work to provide, No matter what the money is, whether it's a lot or a little, you still have to work regardless because you have to provide. It's discipline. My job, my gym, my training, whether I hit a PB or I don't hit a PB, whether I do well or it's a shit day or a good day, I still have to go train. So now it's discipline. Motivation gets you started, discipline keeps you going.
Yeah. You got to treat it like a professional, like an actual job. So then, in regards to the training prep and the comp prep, what does it look like in the week of Fadi, preparing up for a comp?
So comp prep, that was a good question because I'm in comp prep right now.
Yeah.
So 9 weeks out, what am I doing? Well, first of all, nutrition has to be on point.
Yeah.
Sleep has to be on point. So now I eat for the sake of performance. So Monday to Friday is, because that's my main training days, I'll do strongman on Saturday. So actually, let's say Monday to Saturday. Everything I eat is directed to, will it make me perform better that day? Will it make me feel good that day?
Yeah.
All right. Sunday's a day where I get to go out and enjoy myself because I don't care if I feel sluggish.
It's a day off.
It's a day off. And plus, it's good to have that reset.
Yeah.
Training wise, every session has to be completed. Every hydration has to be done. Because comp prep now is comp prep. You want to avoid getting injured. You want to stay as healthy as possible and as in peak performance as possible. Because when it gets towards the end of comp prep, the weights get heavier, gets a bit more harder, and you want to make sure you built the necessary muscle to do that and the conditioning. So it's very strict.
Wait, so how are you doing that? Like, let's break it down with, like, let's say the food and the hydration. Is there a certain amount of calories you're eating?
Protein.
But at the moment, because I'm trying to lose like at least a kilo a week, I think I'm sitting at around 4,000 to 5,000 calories a week. I mean, a day, sorry.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's you cutting.
That's,
Oh my God.
Yeah, my breakfast used to be like 3,000 calories easily. So now, instead of 5 eggs and sujuk and toast and bagels and cereal, I took out the cereal, half the bagels, and just left it to the eggs.
How's that for your appetite? Like eating this many calories?
I don't know. I normally just eat till I'm full. It just happens to be 6,000 calories.
Okay, so it's not too bad.
It's not too bad now.
Okay.
Now I feel a bit more hungrier.
Yeah.
But you get used to it. I just drink water. Like the water, I'll drink like 3 to 4 liters of water.
Yeah.
Like I was saying it to Ali before, like when I wake up first thing in the morning, like you said you had the dry mouth and that.
Yeah, I did.
First thing you do is drink 600 mils of water because your organs are craving it. You've been sleeping all night, it's dehydrated.
Yeah.
And all that water goes to your organs, reinvigorates it.
Yeah.
Then you drink another 600 mils, and that's for you now, hydration.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's a good wake up call for your body. And then that's already 1 liter in the morning. And then throughout the day, keep drinking for training, keep drinking.
Yeah. And are you particular about sort of the food you're eating as well, or is just getting the calories in?
No, I'm particularly about the foods I mean. Like I'm eating clean meals. Like now I'm sponsored by Dermot Meals Direct. So
I have seen that.
Yeah, so I've been eating from their meals.
Yeah.
And that's just pure. It's like what I would cook at home. You know, chicken, rice, bit of flavouring, seasoning. It's just simple.
Yeah.
But they do it for me, alhamdulillah. Breakfast, I take care of myself.
Correct.
So it's easy. It's just eggs and whatnot, and sometimes oats. It just depends. Sometimes a protein shake.
Yeah.
But their meals, which my wife is happy now, she doesn't have to cook as much.
You're sponsored.
She's eating my meals with me. She's eating my butter chicken and this and that. I was like, yes, I'm going to take it.
Hey guys, I know you guys are enjoying the episode. Sorry to interrupt it, but I've just got word from our production team, the man behind the camera, the guy who watches the analytics, and he just told me that majority of you guys are actually not subscribing, so might have to hold off the episode just for a little bit. So just to remind you guys, pause, go down, subscribe. And if you're listening to us on audios, whether it's on Spotify, Apple, go onto our YouTube and subscribe there. It will mean the most to us. I'm trying to do this in a very, very serious face. He's a smile.
So then Sunday, if the dinner, it's only dinner that changes.
Correct.
But the lunch, the pre-workout and the post-workout meal and the breakfast has to be the same.
Yeah.
So I'm a bit lenient on that. And that's helping me lose weight, alhamdulillah.
Wow. Well, I want to know, this off the topic of that one, still sort of on topic. Ramadan, how's your appetite then?
Oh, horrible.
Like when you're fasting? Because you go from
what do you mean?
4,000.
Ramadan, I had my prep and for Worlds on Ramadan.
During Ramadan?
Oh.
Yes.
Oh, tell us about that then.
Yeah. Well, so I did Australia's Strongest International, which is an international Australian comp, in January. Came third, basically beat all the Aussie athletes, and came third to Rhino Heinlein and Mitchell Hooper, who are 2 really good international athletes. Mitchell Hooper is this year's World's Strongest Man.
Okay.
He won World's Strongest Man this year. And I came third to them, and then somehow I got a random invite from World's Strongest Man.
Yeah.
Obviously, that was put me in the spotlight.
Yeah.
And that's when I did that log, the strict press, 170, and I dropped it, just like went, I don't know, bally mode.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, this one starts spreading. I'm like, that's cool. So they invited me, but it's in Ramadan. And I'm like, I can't miss this opportunity.
Yeah.
Like I said, the appetite was horrible, especially when you have to eat. So Maghrib was around back then,
Like
5:30, 6 o'clock.
Yeah, 5:30ish. Yeah.
Yeah, between 5:30 to 6 o'clock. Yeah, eat, wait for it to digest, go train at the gym. By the time I start training, it's 7 o'clock. Take my pre-workout.
Yeah.
Because I have to train a pre-workout. I need that stimulant. Yeah. And I'm like, by the time I finish, it's like 9, 10 o'clock. You know, and the gym was with Northside. They let it open for us, but it was empty.
Pretty much, yeah.
You know, so that's where the discipline came. I had to force myself to do it. Sometimes my brother was there to help me. Sometimes I had other brothers there to help me, just give me company because they were fasting as well. Break the fast there.
Sometimes you're alone in the gym?
Sometimes learning in the gym.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that was, alhamdulillah, that was like, you know what? I can't miss this opportunity.
Yeah.
But I couldn't get enough calories in.
You couldn't, yeah.
Easily I couldn't because I just ate when I trained. I ate again. So basically I was eating 2 meals.
Yeah.
So I eat something small for iftar. train and then eat a main meal after, and then I have to go sleep.
Yeah.
And the
And
suhoor.
then suhoor, I don't know about you guys, but for me, I can't eat much in suhoor.
Yeah.
I wake up and have a few dates, force myself to have a cereal or something.
It's hard. The appetite to develop it with time.
Yeah, normally I get hungry after an hour of waking up.
Yep.
That's why I'm like, okay, I want to have breakfast now. Takes me about an hour. So it was a mission. I made the most of it. If circumstances was different, I probably would have had a better prep.
Yep.
And then, but either way, it's the first time competing at that level. So it was an experience for me. And now I know what to expect next time I go there, inshallah.
Yeah.
Whether it's Ramadan or not Ramadan. Yeah.
And plus in Ramadan, you're battling against sleep as well. Because in that time, straight after iftar, then you got suhoor in the morning, and then you got that little man asleep, and you're trying to squeeze in worship. And
it's like sleep, worship, wake up, and that.
Yeah.
there isn't, you know? So,
I know, it's better. So it just shows you how much you want to do, though. You just got to make it work.
True.
100% put it in. Going back to the preparation for comp, yeah?
Yeah.
So that's your nutrition out of the way.
That's nutrition. Now,
In regards to training, so are you training once a day, twice a day? Is
4
there
days
variation in your training?
4 days a week. The split right now is I got a leg day, which is basically like just bodybuilding rehab. A bein pressing day, so it's everything overhead pressing related. A deadlift day, so deadlift and back accessories, and a strongman day on Saturday to put everything all together.
Okay. Is there any recovery or mobility related stuff in there?
Oh yeah, I go to physios.
Yeah.
And like, so I regularly go to physio every fortnight, I'm not injured, so it's just maintenance.
Maintenance, yeah.
I'll get hijama done, but not the normal cupping.
Yeah.
Try,
Yeah, bloodletting is pretty good too as well. But when you do that, you can't train for 2 days, so you need to find time to do that. But cupping, massage therapy as well, physiotherapy. I want to try the gravity floats. You know the gravity
Yeah, I've
floats.
seen that, yeah.
Okay, yeah. We have a mate that goes
magnesium
often.
salt baths.
Yeah.
I reckon that would be cool.
Yeah.
But
Sam
that's it.
goes
Yeah.
there, doesn't he?
Yeah. We have one of our mates, Sam, MMA
Yeah.
fighter. He goes there often. We can
Which ones
we
you go
can sort
to?
it out, inshallah. I'm not sure. Maybe somewhere in the north.
I think
But
he's sponsored by them
Yeah.
or something like that.
you
He's
could
got a-
Yeah,
be,
'cause I'd love to
we'll
try that,
we'll try to
apparently.
sort it out.
Yeah.
My bath is small.
Yeah. Don't
I
need
think any homemade bath would be too small for me.
Yeah.
Don't need
So
a
if I find something big like that, I can just sink in. Beautiful.
How is that for you, bro? Like, if you don't mind me asking, like in everyday life, just like
But I
certain
just bump
places you
into
go.
everything, bro. It's annoying. I was just walking the other day. I'm like, don't make houses big enough anymore. Like, is it just me? Like, I'm walking in the hall. I'm like, just start. Like, I get annoyed, man.
Yeah.
But I developed claustrophobia when I was in a plane.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you
Yeah.
about the plane. Yeah,
Oh,
how is
man.
it sitting on a plane?
Yeah, you want to know another goal why I want to make it? Because I want to be rich to go business class. I can't take it anymore in economy.
Oh, God.
I went in the toilet, like, what is it?
The toilets are tiny. Yeah.
I make sure I go before and I hold it the whole flight, yeah?
Yeah.
The longest the flight goes was 12 hours. So it's like, okay, I don't drink any water, so I don't have to be busted to go.
Yeah.
Because I walk in, I can't close the door on myself.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and some flights are worse than others. Like, the one I went to was, Qatar Airways was good.
Yeah.
The Emirates was good.
Yeah.
But American Airlines,
Yeah.
I mean, considering the country to have one of the highest obese nations in the world,
Yeah.
you think they'll make their seats big? They didn't.
Don't, yeah.
I couldn't fit my ass in there. I had to lift the thing up and sit next to someone
Bro, you
else.
should honestly, you should ask the staff next flight you take if you can somehow get into first class or whatever. Because sometimes you could say, "Oh, I might be an inconvenience for the person next to me." They might actually just push you in.
Oh,
to
really?
business.
I
Who
should
knows?
try that, yeah.
No, I don't think. I don't
No,
think
but
they-
you-
It's
you
a lot
try-
of money to get. You
but-
just take it because it's too
But you
big.
can try, like, if there's empty seats and no one's
Yeah,
gonna
yeah.
take it.
They try to
vacant.
do that. Like alhamdulillah, they do that. Like if there's an empty seat here, they're like, you know, just go over there and take it. No one's
Yeah,
sitting
see?
there. I'm like,
Yeah.
that's all move me.
Yeah.
But with the thing, man, with the toilets, I hate tight spaces now
Yeah.
because I've never felt so compacted in my life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I feel sorry for whoever's sitting next to you as well. You know what I mean? Like, just imagine you get in the middle seat or something like that.
When I went to Worlds, I took my family with me because I was like, oh, I can't let them miss this experience.
Yeah.
And alhamdulillah, they gave us the middle aisle, which is all 4 seats.
Yeah.
So I had Tito, Zizo, and my wife there. And basically, I laid down on the seat and they had all of them sitting on top of me. Because they're like, okay, you're like, I'll lie down. Literally stepped like that for a couple of hours while they're sitting down on me.
That's
like
awesome.
that. Yeah. I'm like, good, because they're like little kids. So like, I can take
Yeah.
the seats, put them on my lap and take it, whatever. But when I went to
That's awesome, man.
traveled again, where did I go to? There was another flight I went to. It was by myself. I was sitting next to people. People were just literally like looking at me like, oh, sorry, man. I was just sitting like this. Just, but, you know,
Yeah.
shoulder to shoulder, feet to feet. You know, like it's salah.
You know,
just-
one thing I realized, like, obviously, when I see people maybe like your size or even bigger, like just in everyday life, you kind of get intimidated naturally. Like, because
Do
it's
you people say that? Why?
no, that's the thing. Because
would, yeah.
once we speak, obviously we're speaking to you now, but
Yeah.
once someone speaks to you, they'll be like, "Oh, what a top bloke." But then it's a size thing where it's like, "Oh, okay, I don't know, something might happen. I don't want to push this guy. It's like,
That's
I don't want to
funny.
get on the
The
wrong
natural
side of him."
it's you take it's that natural intimidation. You know what I mean?
Take that. Yeah, I don't know.
But then
man.
when you speak to you, it's like along Badik, there's like this like there's amazing bubbly side to you. You know what I mean? Where it's like you're full of joy and whatnot. You know what I mean? It's like that little kid is still in you. You know what I mean?
Oh, it hasn't gone, mate.
It hasn't gone. And hopefully it doesn't
No,
go.
I mean, people say that a lot to me. Like, I don't know if I have a resting bitch face when I'm walking or something. But as soon as they talk to me, like, oh, you're like a different person.
Yeah, see?
I'm like, oh, I don't know, but it's just how it is. And alhamdulillah, I hope I stay like that because
Yeah.
I like that. I mean, I want to be myself. I don't know, just because I'm big doesn't mean I have to be like, oh, like, don't mess with me. You know, well, what do you think you're doing? Like, I watch where I step.
Yeah.
You know, because I don't like to be in people's way. So.
And in terms of that, how is the competitive nature when you go to these competitions? Because obviously with some sports, like people can really, flex their ego, not talk to people, have this resting bitch face. But then I feel like with maybe strong competitors and like bodybuilding, all that from that like physical exertion that you guys you push yourselves through, I feel like there is a very healthy competitive nature compared to other sports.
Depends who you're competing with. Some people are in their own bubble. They're just sitting there, just like the whole time. You never talk to them. And I've seen the whole spectrum. I've seen people who will be like, look like they're about to eat you alive when they're about to compete, and then as soon as they're done, just high five, all good, man, and start helping each other out.
Yeah.
So it's different personalities. Some people are just so in the zone that they'll bash themselves, they get blood coming out of them, come out, and you can't even talk to them. They'll just walk right past you. It just depends on the individual. But yeah, personally, I'm the type of guy which I need to learn more, but you get better when you compete. I'm too easygoing, and I think it's subhanAllah, I don't know from the Islamic perspective, because everything it's by the qadr of Allah. If I'm gonna win, it's by the qadr of Allah. If I'm gonna lose, it's by the qadr of Allah. So I'm gonna do my best and not get too hung up on it. So it doesn't make me get too upset. No matter how angry I get, it's not gonna make my qadr change any much more than what Allah's decreed for me.
Yeah.
But I need to put more effort in the sense where I need to, yes, put my qadr in Allah, but also push it as much as I can. Not be so laissez-faire about it. You know?
You dictate it yourself.
Yeah.
To a degree.
It does help. It does help because the problem is I don't want to get too emotional about a lift and then fail it and then like, damn, I really put my all into it. So I kind of hold back sometimes. So now I'm learning that in my training as well. So every time I train, I treat it like as if I'm in a competition. 3, 2, 1, go. You know, get into it, go hard. And then at the end, it's tawakkal ala Allah, because I've done it now.
Yeah.
But everyone else, they put so much effort into it and like they get down. That's why people have a bad event. Like I did Middle East Strongest Man last year, yeah? Came 6th, that one. That was another competition, it was in Dubai. But it was out of 18 athletes. Now imagine this, so it goes by point system. 18 athletes, 18 points. If you come first, you get 18 points. If you come last, you lost 18 points, yeah? Okay. First event was the deadlift, came top 5, alhamdulillah good. Second event was the log, came last.
Yeah.
Out of 18 people. Now, a lot of people that come last out of 18 people like, damn, I'm not coming back from this.
Yeah.
Whereas me, I'm like, alhamdulillah, move on. I actually didn't let it affect me too much. Second event came second. Third event came fourth. Fifth event came third. And because of that, brought me up to 6. So that means if I didn't lose so much on that one, I could have got a bit more better result. But alhamdulillah, that's a mentality thing.
Yeah.
Which I think I attribute to, it's not over till it's over. It's still another form of events to go. And that showed me that no matter what you get, you keep going to the end.
Yeah.
Because other people might pull out, other people might get injured, other people might do an event and get so down about it that they don't even want to do the next event. It's a lot of mental game in this.
Yeah. There's a bit of perks that come to that easy nature side as well.
That's what I think.
Yeah.
But then there's also a perk to come to that I want to eat your life nature too.
100%.
So,
Do you feel like with that easy mentality then you don't give, and this is honestly speaking, that you don't give 100% to that,
I feel like that.
Yeah.
I feel like because I'm too easygoing sometimes, like I don't push myself as much as I could.
Mm-hmm. How did you realize that, by the way? Did you...
Competing a couple of times, I've noticed that. So I've noticed that through competitions, through my mates as well. I have a very close mate, Ben, who comes to me as like a handler. He's noticed some things about me. He's like, you need to have that dog in you sometimes. Yeah. Like, it's good to have that ambition. Like, I want to do it. Of course, I want to win. But you need that. Like, I don't know, was it like the Hamza kill everybody mentality. I'm listening to him now. But you know what? He does it too. Like, even if he doesn't win, he still fearsome.
Yeah.
So he psychs his competitors out. So it's more like even psyching people out. So you have that. I'm like, okay, I'll look into it more. just to get that.
You go.
I was gonna say I feel like I have that as well.
Yeah?
It's interesting. Like not in terms
Oh
of.
yeah, you definitely do, Ali.
See, so
Yeah,
there you go.
100%.
That confirms it.
I'm always saying it to Ali, like, yeah, we can cut this out later on if you want. But Ali's Allahumma barik, like his overall potential is like up there.
Yep.
You know? But because Ali is like Allahumma barik, very humble, easygoing and whatnot.
It links to it, right?
Yeah, it's sort of like
that's what I'm saying.
Competitive nature.
I had to push
That-
myself to be like
that
this.
competitive nature, you know?
I saw when he did stones. How much times did you fail doing the stones?
Yeah.
And then you're like, you know what?
Start to get to me.
It started to get to you. Aywa, that's what happened with me. That's why I like lifting. I failed, you wouldn't know how much lifts I failed. You would not imagine. And then I'll sit there thinking, like, whatever gets me going. All of a sudden, you switch. This is why I like Broly so much.
Yeah.
He has a trigger. Everyone else already wants to fight. Vegeta wants to fight, wants to bowl everyone. His pride.
Yeah.
Goku just loves to fight for the sake of fighting.
Yeah.
Broly, when he's normal. If you watch the new Dragon Ball Super, he's very timid, arty, like, doesn't care.
Easygoing, yeah.
Easygoing. Someone killed his dad. The whole world's going down.
Yeah.
you know? So I had that trigger. I imagine that.
Yeah.
I lost my kids. That's it. I'm going to go everywhere. Like, that's how dark it gets sometimes. And that strength comes. But it's tiring. Well, it's physically. Because I'll do that and I'll start tearing up now.
Yeah.
I got my lift and now I'm tearing up. Why am I crying? I don't know. I just emotionally exhausted myself thinking about that.
Yeah.
Eddie Hall's talking about what he did the 500 kilo deadlift.
Yeah.
He went to what is it? Hypnotherapy.
Therapy,
Yeah.
Okay.
So much so that he envisioned that his kids were actually dead under a car for him to lift it up. That's how dark it had to get to him to do 500. Because he doesn't remember lifting 500. Because I remembered that and I lifted it and I was standing up with it and all of a sudden I'm 500 kilos in the air. And then he started bloody passing out after that. Body started to react to all the bloody adrenaline that was going on in his body.
Yeah.
But
So what's your go-to? Sorry.
Yeah, go.
go to for what?
What's your go-to in developing this dog mentality?
Dog mentality. Mimicking helps. So like you mimic someone that you like, for example, Khamzat or Khabib or whoever has that kind of mentality. And think about what motivates you. Why do you want to do this lift? Well, how important is this lift or this objective that you want to do? You know what I mean? What happens?
Yeah.
If you fail it? What happens if you don't fulfill your potential? What's the alternative? You let yourself down. I don't want to let myself down. I don't want to let my family down. I don't want to let people around me down. So it comes to like you have no choice.
Building your why, basically.
Like I said, the mimicking as well. Like when you watch other people do it, it's like this is the beauty of human nature. When you see someone can do it, like I can do that too. If you never see that's when someone did the 500 kilo deadlift, now everyone thinks they can do 500 kilo deadlift. They're trying to.
Yeah, exactly.
When someone broke, was it the minute mile?
It was 2 mile.
The minute 2 mile, yeah.
Yeah, it was a 2 mile. Yeah, it's like
no, it's been broken heaps of times now. But someone had to do it.
yeah.
So if these people can do it and have that switch, we'll develop to have that switch. Let's learn.
It's part of like the David Goggins like 40% which he speaks about. In his book,
yes. Not even 40%. Yes.
where he goes, you only go up to 40% technically when you feel like you're giving 100%.
And when your mind's telling you to go up, that's only 40%. I'm like, damn.
Yeah.
And then the things you could do when you put yourself into that sort of hypnotherapic mindset where it's like, okay, cool. What happens if it was like my mum under the car and had to push or such and such,
Sometimes has to get
the
that
mind
dark.
is subhanAllah, it's something, you know what I mean?
Visualization.
Yeah.
You can, the mind, I say this to my wife all the time because you can make yourself sick by just thinking it.
Yeah.
If you're a negative person, it's kind of hard because you always have to fight against it. Hamza, I'm more optimistic, more positive. I don't have that issue as much. But I know there's people who, when they think negative, they stress more, you increase the stress levels, you get more problems.
True.
And that's just by thinking.
Yeah.
If you thought the opposite and you just basically just didn't care, if it wasn't in your mindset, you have a better lifestyle because you're not putting your body under unnecessary stress.
True.
Something happens, you stress, okay, deal with it. No problem, you have to deal with it. Something happened, But if nothing's happening, don't think something happening. Don't make it worse by thinking it and worrying and overthinking and causing your body undue stress that doesn't, that doesn't need to go through. Funny, I have a saying, you've got 99 problems and none of them are real.
Yeah.
You just keep thinking about it, yeah?
And naturally, we're going to have thoughts, you know what I mean? But like we should make our default thought something that's sort of like
Gotta
positive.
actively fight against it.
Yeah.
So as a mindset, you gotta imagine yourself. I imagine myself doing a lift. So my body, by the time I do it, is like, it's weird. It's like you trick your body to thinking it's done it by just visualizing it. You getting up to the bar, doing your hands off the chalk, about to lift it, you looking up what it feels like when you lifted it. Like, I actually go through this, especially for major comps. It's like how the things are gonna play out, which I'm gonna do better and better as I get, because sometimes it feels cringy sometimes.
Yeah.
but it works, you know, because like you said, your mind follows. So was it the body follows where the mind goes, you know? So you want your body to go somewhere, you got to envision it first.
You got to tame that mind.
Yeah.
You know, is there times where you lift something? I was going to say on top of that point where it's like, you know damn well that you could have lifted that, but you just weren't in that like right mindset.
Oh yeah.
Or the body state or whatever. It's like that 200. You know that 200 that we'll do on that day?
Yes.
I know damn well I could have lifted that.
Yes.
You get what I mean?
You psyched yourself out.
Psyched yourself out. The sniffing salt, which I want to get into, was another thing.
We have to-
we have to get into the sniffing salt because you uploaded the video.
Yeah.
And then, like, I didn't even know what I was going to lead to that. But I was going to ask something along because I want to continue this mentality topic. I like the psychological side of conversations. How well do you take feedback?
How well do I also, sorry?
Do you take feedback?
From people?
In general?
If it's valid, I'll take it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's part of your sport, you know, because sometimes like when you go into gym lifts and all that kind of stuff, everyone's like, oh no, lift it this way, or you're not lifting it properly and all that kind of stuff. Like everyone feels like they're an expert and alim in that sort of field.
Well, that's how it is in the sport, but I've done it not long enough, but long enough to know how my body reacts to a certain thing. So for a beginner, it can be overwhelming because someone says, oh, you have to do it this way, you have to do it that way, no, you need to be straight back. You need to do it. But I've lifted long enough to know what works best for my body in a certain degree, what feels most comfortable. So I could take feedback. I'll definitely take feedback from someone who's better than me as well.
Yeah.
So they know more, they're more knowledgeable. Then you got to take it, even if it may not be valid, you still take it. Maybe listen to it, see what happens. But if you take too much feedback or if you listen to too much opinions, you'll be overwhelmed.
True.
You know. And you only have to have so much time to keep changing things up. Like one day you're gonna do what like this way, the next way you're gonna do it this way. Like you're gonna waste time.
Yeah.
You'll know by then what works best for you.
Yeah.
Unless you're doing something that's completely like gonna cause an injury.
Yeah, that's different. Yeah. But I was asking that question in relation to like, for example, your mate, was it Ben?
Yeah.
When he told you about the mentality
The mindset, the feedback. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm probably talking about like to technique and form.
No. Even because from the mentality aspect of all, like those little things can take you a mile in your competition.
Yes.
You know, like be a dog in your game, like get hungry, all of that little things.
Yeah. Well, it made me think. I'm like, maybe I am a bit too easygoing. Like,
are you introspective?
I tend to be. Yeah. Like, especially at night.
Yeah.
Just sit there and just go through the whole day, and like, but you can be introspective as much as you want, but outside perspective was something different.
Yeah.
Some people can see something in you that you don't see in yourself.
Correct. Exactly.
You know what I mean? So when he said that, I'm like, you know what? He's got a point. I thought there was nothing wrong with it. But I'm like, you know what? Maybe I am holding myself back subconsciously, not on purpose, obviously. It's just I'm just so easygoing and having fun that I forget to push above 40%. You know.
Yeah.
And there's times where I'm doing a medley, like carrying a sandbag or going around in a circle, and I feel like I'm gonna give up. My body's telling me to give up, and then I end up keep going, and I did another 10 more meters. They're rare. But him to tell me that you actively need to think that you need to go 100% all the time, I'm like, I don't do that.
Yeah.
You're right. So I gotta start practicing that.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, you know if you're pushing your threshold or not. It might look like it, like if you're training with your mates or your brother.
Yeah.
Because it's like, oh, Al Mubarak is he's lifting high numbers, but then at the end of the day, you know how much you're actually pushing that threshold.
Well, like you with the stones, yeah. You tried. You did it the third time, yeah.
Yeah.
If you went in there with that mentality the first time, you could have got it the first time.
It's true.
So instead of exhausting yourself 2 times, trying and being laissez-faire about it, I'll see how it feels. Like, I'll do that too.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel right. No. You know what? I'm going to go and eat this no matter what. Do or die. You would have got it the first lift, 100%.
And I started to get like marks on my forearm, and that started to play in my head. It's like all these excuses, like, I'm not 100% ready, this and that.
I'm not ready.
It gets all in your head. That's why, yeah. You start to convince yourself you can't, this and that.
So that's the thing. Like sometimes competition, you don't have a first, second attempt. You have one attempt. So competition, you need to do it from the start. Training, that's training is where you find yourself. Training is where you find what you're capable of. Competition is where you show the result of it.
Find yourself as in you trying to say like the truest form of yourself to a degree.
Yeah, you're breaking yourself down. You're seeing what you're capable of. You know what I mean?
It's true. And like even going to the gym, part of it is like the hardest part of going to like the harder part of training in the gym is getting to the gym.
Yeah,
it's not actually training because when you're in the mojo, you're in the rhythm.
Now you're enjoying it.
Now you're enjoying it. You know what I mean? Like you'll stay there if you want. You know.
Yeah.
But getting to the gym, it's like okay, and like you can take that like the aspect of it being the gym into like other aspects of your life. You know what I mean? It's like just showing up, getting the reps in, and then later on like seeing the results from it.
100%. It's a sacrifice. Like for me, it's more of a sacrifice because I'm sacrificing time for my family. Like I'm already out from work. Then I have to go do this and do even more hours out. And I've got my 4-year-old telling me, Baba, where you going? I'm like, I'm going to go to the gym. He's like, oh, please stay, play with me. I'm like, I want to. Trust me, I don't want to train. I want to sit here and play with you. Wallah, I do. But if I don't do this now, what are you going to look up to? I want you to look up to me and look, he did this, he did that. So then now I have to learn how to manage my time more. So to give him his, to keep his cup full, to make sure he has my time, I have to prioritize everything now, you know. But trust me, there's times when he tells me to stay, and I'm like, I don't feel like training because I got DOMs. I'm like, well, that sounds good, bro. Let's go play some toys. You know?
Has there been times where you actually stayed?
Oh yeah. But I made it up the next day.
Yeah,
because I know if it was a time where I couldn't make up my 4 days, I have to go because I need to train at least 4 days a week.
Yeah. You got to hold yourself accountable.
Hold on, because let's say I was supposed to train on Thursday. I'm like, I'll stay and play because he really wants me, and then I'll go tomorrow. I'll make that sacrifice. But ideally, because my body's used to training on Thursdays, that would have been a better day. Yeah. But, you know, alhamdulillah, you juggle.
I was going to ask, along this whole World's Strongest Men competitor journey and being a professional, what have been some memorable moments? Because obviously you travel.
The whole thing's a dream, man. the whole thing's memorable, alhamdulillah, from start to finish.
Lifting iron for a living?
yeah, wallah, it is. Like I said, I'm still amazed that I'm at this point. And inshallah, I'll keep going more and more. Memorable moments.
Has there been moments like as I was like you just see yourself like not in a room because you'd be outside like with 18 other buff guys, you know what I mean? And thinking, what the hell am I doing here?
I did that at Worlds.
How did I get here?
Yeah, how did I get here?
How did I Worlds? Sitting, how did I get here? Go, so this guy, I know this story. Like I was a strongman nerd. Like I knew all, but then cool. So I'm like, hey, hang on, yeah, good. Then I said, we're getting ready for the lift. Yep, yeah, no worries. So oh my god. That's Big Z. Why is short? No. SubhanAllah. That was a very memorable moment. That was like but also an eye opener. Yeah, because I'm there. Yeah. I'm bursting. It's like, you know, you play basketball. Do you like basketball?
Yeah, I love basketball.
Okay. You play basketball. Yeah. Next minute, you see yourself with, Kobe Bryant, bloody Michael Jordan. Who else is there? Bloody Stephen Curry. What else is good there, you know? And you're bursting them. Yeah. And like, you know, how do I get here? Yeah. That's how it felt like for me. Yeah.
Like that, they say it's like that welcome to the league moment. You know what I mean? Where it's like, okay, cool, you've made it. Now you're in Madison Square Garden playing in the best stadium. Against the best players in the world, it's like, what the hell am I doing here?
Yeah, then you choke.
I've never felt that, obviously.
But that's similar to what I can think. Imagine it being like. You know what I mean? Yeah. And then it becomes now because I've done that. It's like it's settled down. Like so now you got the next mentality is you are one of them, or you're gonna be like them, or even better.
Defeat them.
That's it. You know, and that's probably the most memorable. To get to that level, I mean, to World's Strongest Man. Like they haven't even aired it yet. Like it's just a TV show that they'll air at the end of the year. So I haven't even watched it yet. Yeah. But I'm keen. Like. That's a pretty cool feeling. That's probably one of the most memorable moments. Yeah. Podium at Australia's Strongest Man, to say you're top 3 in Australia. Yeah. Like, that's pretty cool. Yeah. Beating my brother at a charity comp, that was pretty cool.
That's probably the best one.
That was the best one. He hasn't beaten me till then. So I'm like, that's the one comp I beat it at.
You went up there.
It was like a charity comp that we did do into performance in Dandenong. It was like, it was cool with like truck pull and overheads. It was fun.
What about, because I seen that video when you got invited to the World's Strongest Man competition.
Yes.
What was that like when you got that
invitation? They were prostrated in the video. All dirty and sweaty. Like, I got in. Okay. Prior to that, I got a preliminary invite. So it was like, they said, you just be careful. We're letting you know we might invite you. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Weeks went by. I sent them a gif of Pablo Escobar just standing waiting. I'm like, I'm waiting, and we're going to get an invite or what? And they just died laughing. They're like, oh, look, man, it's out of my hands. Like, we're just getting close to the date. Yeah. Like, but then I kind of gave up on the invite because I thought maybe after a week or two I'll know.
Gotcha.
It's been like 3 weeks now, 4 weeks. I'm like, so I can't keep waiting. So I started doing my own training, getting ready for Australia's Strongest Man because Australia's Strongest Man was around the corner. And that time, I was training for Australia's Strongest Man. I got the invite. They're calling me. I got missed calls from World's Strongest Man. I'm like, emails like, Fadi, answer now. I'm like, what's going on? Yeah. Like, someone got injured. One of the competitors, got injured, and they want me to fill his spot. I'm like, what? He said, like, yes, I can take it. Let's do it. Then the whole whirlwind says, I'm posting it everywhere. I called my wife, called everyone, prostrated down. I'm like, we're going, man. It was like 4 weeks to go. But we're going. You know. And that was like. It was a switch. It's like, wow, I think I'm probably the earliest person to do strongman to go to World Strongest Man. Because some people that were there that went there the first time, they've been doing strongman for 10 years. Some were doing strongman for 6 years. Technically, I've been doing strongman for 2 years.
Yeah.
You know, take away COVID, I've been doing strongman for 2 years and now got invited there. Whether I deserve the invite or not,
Yeah, that's another conversation.
doesn't bother me anymore.
Yeah.
Because now I know what it's like. I'm going to go and make sure I deserve my spot. This is an honor just to get invited there, you know?
Exactly.
And I'll appreciate that moment forever.
Yeah, long bad. Well, congratulations for that.
Thank you.
I
amazing,
saw that video and it was just like, damn, you know, and I saw the reactions of everyone else in there as well. It's like,
That was cool.
it's one of those like I made it type of moments, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't think the only thing will top that now is like when I make the finals there or make the podium. Now my mentality is upgraded so much so now that everything else feels normal. So now it's like I need to get podium. I need to win.
Yeah.
You know, that's going to be next. When I actually win, I'm like, wow, like that's going to be like another surreal moment.
Yeah.
And then you get used to winning. And you have to like go with multiple titles. Like there's levels to this.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm starting to see. I'm like, damn. You know, there's always something to chase.
100%. And there's also traveling that's involved with your gig, you know? And you've traveled a couple of places. How's that been? That whole traveling aspect of it. Do you enjoy traveling?
I hate traveling.
You hate it?
I hate traveling. Yeah,
Is
it's so you have to do it, but I hate it.
We're the complete opposite. That's
Wow.
You love traveling.
We didn't expect
You're
that.
comfortable in your seats.
Yeah, that's true. 12 hours.
Put me in first class and ask me.
Good story, huh? Yeah.
Allow me that I can lie down and sleep. I'll be fine.
Yeah.
So are you usually like in and out of the city?
Yeah.
With the competition?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you don't go explore anything?
No. For World Strongest Man, I explored. Like Myrtle
Okay.
Beach, went out to the Crocodile Parks and checked out everything because we were there for a week. Dubai, we were there for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
We made the most of that one. That was fun. What else did I travel? Now we're going to West Virginia, so I'll be going about 3 days before the comp, and it'll be like just to see like you know the area,
Yeah.
check out the NPCs there.
I
See what it's like. And obviously see what it's like because it's gonna be snow apparently. So
Yeah.
it's winter there,
For sure.
so it'll be snowing. So I'm like, okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
Completely different to what's here in Melbourne. You know?
I know you travel, you love traveling, don't you?
I love
You've been to
traveling.
Iceland as well.
That's why I said when you told me like your next competition
Is it
might
Iceland?
be
Yeah.
if it's in Iceland.
This
I
was
said,
when we were walking out as well.
we're
Yeah.
walking out. I'm like, if he goes to Iceland, like I might have to join him up there.
You
to
would
go
come
in.
on, I understand, but
Yeah.
Iceland was one of those places where you know how like there's like how do I say it, like dream goal destinations.
Yeah.
it was one of those ones. So it's like up there. One day, inshallah, if I knock it off, you know, then I'm gonna do it because like how Iceland sort of came out to be in my last trip when I went was more so, hey, cool, I want to go to that spot, but then I was like, I want to spend like a good amount of time there.
yeah,
Then like how do I say it? I went from Morocco to Saudi to Turkey, and I'm like, I'm in all these like no offense, but like I'm in all these like low-key Arab spots. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? I'm like, I want to see white people just for a little bit, you know what I mean? So I get to Spain, you know what I mean?
too much people begging for money.
I love them, by the way.
Yeah.
And then I get to Spain, and then I'm like, Iceland's only just like around the corner, you know?
That's the beauty of there.
And if I think about it, like, when am I ever going to get an opportunity? Because Australia, we're down on the bottom, like,
I
right?
know it's far. That's the thing, yeah.
We're so
It's
far
hard
away.
to travel from Australia.
Exactly. So if you're going to travel, you sort of want to, like, have, like, a decent amount of time. You never know when you're going to get that amount of time.
Yeah.
So then I get to Spain, and then after I was like, okay, cool. When I was in Spain, I was like, okay, I'm going to book my ticket. You know?
Nah, so it's
Booked my
spontaneous.
ticket, went back to Birmingham, dropped my stuff up at my cousin's house in Birmingham, and then from there, literally took a day bag, headed to like Iceland. And then as I'm leaving, I'm just like, well, I have to come back to this spot. But the next time I come back to this spot, I'm definitely going to go.
How
like-
long were you there for?
I was literally there for like a week, just under a week, like
Oh, wow.
6 days, 7
Yeah, yeah.
days, you know? But one of the most gorgeous places on the face of the earth. Like,
They say that, yeah.
you look to your left, you see like a volcano, then you see like a regular mountain, and then you see ice glaciers, and then you see like a little, like a beach, and then you see like hot springs, and it's the
a bit
whole
of
place,
everything,
it doesn't
yeah.
seem real, you know what I mean? Like it just
Wow.
does not seem real. It's like, and I was there during winter, so I was like, just imagine what it looks like during summer, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like one of those spots where it's like cool, and then I heard you say, okay, cool, I might go there for ice, and I'm like, that's exactly what I needed to hear.
Another reason
You
to
know
go
what I mean?
there, subhanallah.
There's a reason
Yeah.
to go, so whatever, I'm just going to jump in your bag or
You're
something
getting me
like
excited now, bro.
I know,
I'm
that was
like,
an option, man. That was an option. But alhamdulillah, it looks like the American comp is more than Manasib. So
Yeah.
that would be, in terms of title, that's a better one as well. If I could get top 3 there, which is the goal. The goal is to win, inshallah. But top 3 would guarantee you an invite to Worlds again next year.
Yep.
All the Giants live shows. You know, like they have Giants live in Birmingham as well.
Yeah.
You know, that's very big, these competitions. That's just like the next level, boosting of competing at an international level.
And your next competition, that's what you said 9 weeks out from?
Yeah.
Where's that going to be? Here?
West Virginia.
It's going to be West Virginia.
Yeah.
So you're going to
Yeah.
fly out to there.
Gonna fly out to there.
Wow. So inshallah, good luck with that one.
Thank you.
You will smash it, inshallah.
So that's the plan.
Any
Smash everybody.
I got one thing. We didn't mention
Yeah.
like with the nutrition and that, because we know caffeine does affect training.
Yeah.
How much caffeine are you taking, or like the types of pre-workout do you have?
So I don't drink much coffee, yeah?
Okay, so you're not a coffee person.
I'm not a coffee person. So I already have no caffeine in my system until I train.
Yeah.
So my caffeine's got 350 per serving. I'll take
Per serving?
Yeah, so I'll take 1.5.
One.
Yeah, so 500 easily.
Really?
Yeah.
Is this like on a regular training day?
4 days a week, yeah.
500
Yeah. Or maybe 3 days of the training day, because some of it, I don't like leg day, because it's light. I don't take maybe coffee.
So how long have
iced coffee frappe from McDonald's.
how long you been doing this? The 500.
Oh, what?
Like when did it start? I'm trying to think of like, because it becomes a tolerance as well. 'Cause like for example, if I was to take 500 today, I'll be bouncing off the walls.
Oh, you'll be bounced. But you gotta go by weight composition as well. I weigh 180 kilos. How much do you weigh?
distributes differently, yeah.
Okay.
How much do you weigh?
I weigh 90.
Yeah,
Kilos.
but almost double you.
Yeah.
I am double you.
That's good. You're making me feel
I'm
light, bro.
180, yeah. So you need half of that, 250.
Yeah.
It goes like that, you know what I mean? But like that cup of coffee ain't doing nothing for me. Looking at that.
Well, that does nothing to me.
Yeah,
too,
yeah.
trust
Well, there
me.
you go.
Yeah.
So it just depends on body because it distributes different, like
Correct,
what you
yeah.
said as well. So I'll take 500. Doesn't mean you have to take 500.
Do you certainly feel the effects mentally
Yeah,
as
I
well?
feel it. Yeah,
Okay.
you feel like the jitters and the tingling feeling.
Yeah.
It takes about 15-20 minutes. I start feeling awake, like
Yeah.
more driven.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, I'm always just pretty chilled.
What about sniffing salt? How? Because I've recently started to see them a lot, and obviously
Yeah, sniffing salt's a bit of a hit and miss. So I like it.
Okay.
For lifts, so look, I like sniffing salt for lifts that you're doubting yourself on.
Okay.
So if you feel like you can't do it, you sniff the salt because you're so focused on the adrenaline from the salt. You're not thinking about whether you can do it or not anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just go and do it. Otherwise, you can build a tolerance to that too because you're just smelling it just for the sake of smelling it. It's like it's just an annoying smell now. You know what I mean?
You know what the sniffing salt reminded me of when we took it, and if you guys haven't watched that video, make sure you guys watch that video. But when we took it, or at least when I took it, you know when you dive into like a pool,
Yeah.
and then you dive with like your nose straight into the water,
Yeah,
your head straight into the
Just
water,
all flushes in.
and you get that flush going
Yeah.
straight up, and then you get that discombobulated feeling for like 2
Yes,
seconds,
yes,
like where
yeah.
the hell am I type of
Yeah.
thing. That's exactly what the sniffing salt felt like.
It's amazing, huh?
Yes and no.
It takes a while to get used to it. It depends because some salts are stronger than others as well.
Yeah, that second one was.
I gave you a good strong one, yeah.
very, very. Like
Yeah.
the first one was okay. The second one was like it almost took my breath out of me as well.
It's like getting slapped in the face.
Yeah.
Yeah, dazed.
It confuses you.
Yeah. It could be, but that's why you have to be an experienced lifter because you can't be a beginner, don't know how to lift, and then take some salt and don't know what you're doing.
Yeah, exactly.
So I really know how to lift. Done it 100 times, 1,000 times even. You know. So now it's just getting that mentally ready. Like I just did it yesterday for my overheads because I was going to hit a PB. I haven't hit 140 over my head strict.
Yeah.
Clean and press overhead strict. Yeah. And I did 130. It's how 10 kilos makes a difference. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I know I've done 130. I know I've done 120. So I don't even think about it. I'm just going to pick it up, bang, 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 bang. I got to do 140. I'm like, oh. But I just did 130. It was so easy. But 140 is still 140. Like it's a new number. All right, Ella, take it out. Start sniffing it out. I don't care anymore. Walked up to it, bang, 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 dropped it. I'm like, wow, I did it. You know? And it's just 10 kilos more.
Different.
You know what I mean? But now, the next time I do 140, I won't think about it anymore. Now it'll have to be 150 or 145. So as long as those new, so it helps me get out of that mind funk that I can't do it. You know,
Yeah.
or when I doubt myself,
I might need that.
especially for deadlifts.
A little bit of an edge, essentially.
Yeah.
You want to take it on like a regular lift and whatnot.
No,
obviously, yeah.
no, it wouldn't. No, there's no point.
Yeah.
When people take on lifts that not sub max, there's no point.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, you're just getting used to it for nothing.
No, 100%.
Plus, it's still ammonium salt, so I don't think it's the healthiest thing we can do.
yeah, that's or over time definitely not. You know?
yeah.
Are you an avid coffee drinker, by the way?
Nah,
You're not an avid coffee
no.
drinker.
I'll drink coffee, but I'm like, it doesn't bother me.
Just
Yeah.
function, basically, yeah.
I was going to ask one random question. Do you listen to podcasts, by the way?
Yes, I do.
What's your go-to podcast that you listen to?
I
I have a strong feeling Joe Rogan's going to be in that list.
Look, I like Joe Rogan, but he's not my favorite
Okay.
because he's got so much varied topics.
Yeah.
I like the podcasts that are always about same topic, was just mindset.
Okay.
So the Tom Bailey one,
Yeah, Billy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
so I
Impact
like
Theory.
his one. Impact Theory, that's the one.
Yep.
There's one by what's his name? Andrew Frisella.
Okay. Yep.
75 hard guy.
That's the one. Yes, yeah.
That's his boy.
He's as real as it gets.
He's
Huh?
as real as he gets. I like him because he just says his opinion, and he just motivates you with hard work. You know, none of this fluffy stuff and this and that. Like you just got to do it, grind for 10 years, you'll get there.
Gotcha.
Oh, sweet. That's all I got to do. You know, There's a few others that I have just on rotation.
You like listening to it more for like the reminder aspect of it?
Yeah.
Because a lot of what they say you already know.
It's exactly,
and
yeah,
probably
it's a
already
reminder.
implementing.
It's a reminder. That's why I listen to a lot of motivational videos as well. Like there's Fearless Motivation on YouTube, stuff like that. And it's always the same guy saying the same thing. But sometimes it's like when you hear it and you hear it again, like it hit you more that moment now because you heard it that time.
Yeah.
When you hear it another time, it doesn't hit you as much, but then it hits you again. So it's repetition. You know, we're humans. We need to be reminded sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One last question before we end the podcast. Obviously, we released a YouTube video with you. You know, that was our first, and inshallah, it's like the beginning of many. We enjoyed the
training sessions, inshallah. Yeah.
We got to hit more
Yeah,
together.
definitely.
Oh, yeah.
We're gonna do farmers next.
Farmers?
Yeah.
Farmers
I like
and
that.
group challenges because that's what's in my prep now.
Yeah.
It's a weakness of mine, so
Farmers is
I'm
gotta be
scared,
yours,
but I'm
man.
down.
Farmers is going to be yours.
Yeah.
No, you have to do farmers. It's a
I'm
big
down,
rating.
yeah.
Pick
No,
up
I
all the
wanna-
groceries in one go.
No, Fadi, I want to go back for the stones.
Yeah.
I want to go back for the stones because you see that 110 we're doing and all that kind of stuff? The grip was awkward.
Yeah, well, this time we're gonna get you to use tacky.
Yeah, okay.
And you will lift it like that. You will, but slam dunk it, bro.
Okay, beautiful.
What's tacky? Wait.
It's like a sticky thing you put.
put on.
The thing I was complaining about.
Yeah.
No, we're going to hit those stones again. I was like, there was only that one like edge. Like I watched back the video and I was like, you just
I
need
know,
that,
it's
like,
like
that
so
1
close.
inch, you know? And it's like annoying, you know? But I was going to say, when you watched the video, what was your reaction to it? What was your thoughts on it?
I loved it.
Yeah?
I watched it. I'm like, kudos to the videographer as well. Got all the angles and that.
Shout out to these two boys
Oh,
behind the
it's
camera.
amazing, man. And just the content, like, I didn't realize the time flew. I watched the whole thing. And you know when you watch a podcast or you watch a YouTube video and you don't notice the time and it's over, God damn, it's finished.
Yeah.
You know it was good.
Yeah,
You know?
exactly. You enjoyed the time for it.
That's it.
I love him, buddy. If you guys haven't watched that video, make sure you guys watch it. We'll link it down below. But where can everyone find you before we end the podcast? Where can they find you? Anything you want to shout out? Any parting words?
Just Northside Giant on Instagram and TikTok as well. Pretty much Northside Giant everywhere, so that's where it is.
Okay, exactly.
Parting words is have a goal, have a passion, something to strive for. If you never reach it, it doesn't matter because you got to enjoy the journey. And just looking for something and just striving for something is what's going to, give you fulfillment in your life. I hope everyone finds that.
Love that. Thank you, Fadi, for coming on an episode. You guys know the drill. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. And we'll see you next week's episode. Peace.